I wonder, on any given day, how good is the plumbing working at Wrigley Field? How much fluid is leaking out of that park? You know, you got a lot of people in the ballpark. All kinds of people that are in love, people that are breaking up, people that are just coming to see a ball game, people that are just coming to look at people. Think about it. There's got to be a lot of fluid leaking out of the park.
It's like the weirdest feeling in the world, like when the Cubs are in town. I just wake up with energy. It's just the atmosphere. It's like unbelievable. I'm coming here to like party. I'm happy when I come here. It makes me happy.
I moved here in '86 when I went to DePaul and I answered an ad for a roommate. Well, I'm driving down Kenmore and I see a brick wall and I think, great, a dead end. This would be a nice, quiet street. As I get closer, the wall turns out to be a ballpark. I couldn't believe it. Sometimes I still can't. Well, I haven't moved yet.
Wrigley Field, the church of baseball. A partly made, partly found building that for 284 days a year sits idle. But even on days like this, you can hear it breathe. You can feel its pulse. Surrounding the ballpark, taverns, apartments, and an imaginary cornfield where ordinary people walk in and reappear as characters. Some of these characters and their stories are as true as Ernie Banks' classic refrain, "Let's play two." Others combine fact and myth, much like Babe Ruth's Called Shot. A few have as much reality as Abner Doubleday supposedly inventing the game of baseball one sunny day. In the end, I'm not sure it really matters where the truth trails off and the tall tales begin.
I think two girls dumped me because I was more interested in working on the model and spending time with them, and they didn't realize that, you know, when you're doing a project like this, you know, we'd be out having dinner or something and say, guess what, I thought of this new idea. This is how I'm going to mount the press box. And they'd be looking at me like, Steve, get a life. But this is my life. This is what I do. Some people are doctors, some people are lawyers, some people are accountants, whatever. Some people are crooks. Well, I'm an artist and I like to build ballparks. My mom says to me, why do you have to build them so big? Well, that's the way I see them. You know, I don't see them as these small little architectural models. I kind of envision it as walking in here and looking and going, wow, I'm at Clark and Addison, but really I'm in Buffalo Grove. You know, I mean, how did this get out here? And that, you know, I want it to look real. When you look at this thing, you go, that's Wrigley Field. Look at it. The type of materials that I use on building a project like this are virtually every material that you'd find in a real building except for concrete. I've used steel, aluminum, a large amount of balsa wood, a large amount of plaster, basswood, hickory, aluminum, plexiglass. Anything that I find that will work into this piece, I will use. I'll spend maybe an hour just staring at something, you know, looking at something, figuring out how I'm going to do it, because the building process of it may be, you know, really easy to do. but is this going to line up right? Is it going to work right? Is it going to fit into there right? And if I do this first, then am I going to have a problem getting in with this piece? To give an example, when I was framing this ballpark, I knew, should I make the seats first? No, because I knew if I made the seats first, how am I going to determine as to how the floor plan of the seats are going to fall into? I've got to get all this framing done. The whole ballpark is framed. The roof is framed, the undercarriage of the decks are all framed. So I had to do, step-by-step process. That's the other thing. You got to figure out what you're going to do first, what you're going to do in the middle. You don't want to just do the fun stuff right away. Then you can't expedite the project. And like I say, it can be really overwhelming because you're dealing with everything from graphics, such as the back part of the scoreboard, the front of the scoreboard, to doing the bricks, the lights, the seats, matching color, finding out what materials are going to be structurally strong enough to work with, because this is a big model, and this model is going to be moved when it's sold. So I don't want it to come apart. And whoever owns this model, I certainly want them to have it for a lifetime, and I hope it outlives me. At this rate, it probably will, let me tell you. I will say that sometimes when I'm trying to figure out how to make this ballpark really real, I'll get in here some nights, I get in front of my microphone, and I want to see where Andre Dawson is, right about here. And there's Andre going back for a long drive against, oh boy, what a catch. So Dawson, he bobbles the ball. And then I kind of get an idea how he's going to throw it back to there. And I'll look at the field to see the arc of the ball, and I'll look at it against my elevation, and I'll go, yeah, that looks right. I'm serious, I really do that. That's how I figure this out. A lot of times, I have to look at this thing in the most peculiar angles. Sometimes I have to get down on the floor and look at it straight up, just to get an idea where I'm at, It's not just the angles, but it's also the mood, too. Sometimes I'll turn on tapes of old ball games, create the atmosphere, really get me in the mood, or I'll stand up and I'll get on a chair, and I'll look down at the thing, and I'll pretend I'm a plane flying overhead over Wrigley Field. I pretended one night I was a 727 pilot, American Airlines, a 727 here. We're, ladies and gentlemen, right now we're overflying beautiful Wrigley Field. And here we are, and we're tilting, and of course we're tilting a little bit too far. We don't want to do that. O'Hare's about 7.5 miles ahead. I pretend I'm a lot of things over this, just to get an idea. I pretend I'm Harry Carey, an airline pilot, a fan. You got to kind of put yourself in a lot of different places, I've probably made a lot of sacrifices in my personal life, friends, relationships, because I work on this thing all day long, basically. That's what it takes. You've got to be on something like this constantly. You cannot dilly-dally with this 2, 3, 4 hours a day. You're into this 10, 12, 16 hours a day. It's always on my mind. If it's going to be this involved and it's going to look this good, you've got to be into it that much. Otherwise, it ain't going to work. I remember one night it was really, really cold. It was about 5 below zero, 10 below zero, and the CO2 alarm went off. Scared me to death. You're just buzzing. I'm going to die or what? So I called 911, and the Buffalo Grove Fire Department comes over here, and the police come over. So they came up here. When they came up here and saw Wrigley Field under construction, they went nuts. These guys, the fire department, the firemen, the policemen with their radios clacking. The one cop got on his phone and he called to another car. He says, you got to come over to 1262 Ranch View. He says, you won't believe what this guy's got in his living room. He's like, what is he, a mass murder or something? I got 2 squads out front. They're going, wow, this is really cool, man. Well, what are you going to do with it? I'm going to sell it. You got a checkbook? How about for the station? I mean, they got a lot of money here. I want to sell it. The firemen, 2 of them, one of them is a Sox fan. He says, you do great work, but you built the wrong park. I said, no, I didn't. I love the Cubbies. I said, this is what I love. This is Wrigley Field, man.
Did you ever play musical chairs with cars? Okay, a car won't fit on a chair. But in this neighborhood, it doesn't fit into a parking space either. Those inches between the SUVs tease you. That gap between the hydrant and the tow-away sign taunts you.
Can I squeeze into that? Can I cut the wheel just right and slither into that?
No. Too bad. You've gotten too successful. There's just too much of you now.
Oh, why did I ever get rid of that old Volkswagen?
Almost time to play. Either the lots are full or you've decided they're too big a ripoff to dignify. It's still a free country and you're gonna park for free, damn it.
Come on, can't someone get called out on an emergency? Can't some fool finally kiss the missus goodbye? Can't some young man go west or east or just go?
No. Every axle is tucked in for its afternoon nap. By the time the next space opens up, it's the 6th inning, and both you and your vehicle have run out of gas. Or, okay, let's say you get lucky. Close, spacious, legal. You stroll to the park on air, but by the end of the national anthem, your mind's on edge. Part of you stays with your car. Will the city tow it, laughing at how legally you've parked it? Will you come back to discover a chain letter under your wiper, bird crap splatting the finish, some over-bladdered boy having used your fender as a urinal? Of course you're antsy, and by the 3rd inning, you're cursing yourself for not giving in, pulling it in a lot, paying the extra for the easy out, so you could beat the rush, zip on out, and not have to wait for slowpokes to free up. Then, one day, you find the perfect spot. An elderly lady beckons you down the alley into her garage. It's 20 yards from the park, only $7, and your baby is safe from the weather and the other nasty elements. The day's game is perfect. The Cubs win 9-1. The beer is cold, and right before you leave, you glance at the scoreboard and see that the White Sox got crushed again. When you retrieve your baby, you find it's been washed and detailed. The interior has been steamed and pressed. A new car smell wafts out at you. The radio has been set to swing band stations. Your ride glides down her alley as if the oil in your crankcase comes from a genie's lamp. The lady says she will wait for you every game from now on. All she requires is that you come on every off day, and then throughout the off season, to tend to a few chores she's been meaning to get around to.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? I got what you want right here, your favorite.
In standing room, you gotta carve out your spot. If you come early, you gotta make a decision. When the time comes, am I gonna lay some space on the guy who comes late? Or if you come late, you have to walk around a little, scope things out, then do a little negotiating. You jockey for position, wiggle in, and somehow it all works out. All you need is a clear line of sight and a chunk of air to breathe, and the rest is gravy.
The people sitting in the box seats down by the field, they think they're like homeowners because they've got their armrests and their own seat numbers and can mind their space like it's their property. Even the ushers are there to help them keep what's theirs. They wander away, go somewhere else. They're just tourists. The difference is, wherever we decide to go up here, we're home.
The best thing is nobody's behind you. Nobody's going to be spilling a beer on you when a foul ball lands 2 rows behind you. No fools launching up at every pop-up to short. And it's always dark up here. Girders, poles, the overhang.
Some folks give up too early. It gets too demanding for them. The constant flow of people in front of them, their whole bodies collapse from the work it takes. And there are rules up here, too. Some lines are just not meant to be crossed.
Most of the folks are forced here. No room in the bleachers, so they just kick back by the fence in little groups and treat the game like it's music. They talk shop, who's seeing who, blah, 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 blah. It's like their car broke down by the side of the road, and they're just sitting here passing the time till help arrives. And it ain't coming from AAA.
But up here, if you make the commitment, it's going to pay off. You find yourself more focused. Your body is always alert. It's tense. Your mind is concentrating on what's happening. People sitting close to the field, they're just too comfortable. They don't know what the count is, what the guy at the plate did the last time up. They aren't paying attention to what's about to happen. Back here, you can spot it coming, and when it does come, you tell everyone you knew it would. But they'll never hear you say that from back here.
But standing for 2.5 hours is no picnic. Even the players sometimes get to take it easy, because half the time they're sitting. Only the vendors work harder than us.
For the player, batting practice is a time to let her rip. To swing from the heels without the pressure of a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. A time when even the 220 hitter can just relax and demonstrate what got him to the show. For the ball hawk, this is when the game begins.
I approach this with total dedication and all-out effort. It will always be there, always. The fire in me is to go there. This is what I do. This is my life. I have to go there and catch baseballs. In 1958, my parents bought a house in the Wrigley Field area. Going to and from school, I would have to go by Wrigley Field, and coming home for lunch, there would be balls hit out during batting practice. And on occasion, I would, get a souvenir, pick these things up, and I soon became to do it regularly. I, through the years, have been looked at by different people, especially different vendors and workers at the ballpark, because they saw me out there all the time. They weren't aware that I worked nights at an air cargo company, and I was there every game, and they would tell me to get a job. It's kind of, it's ridiculous. I was probably making a lot more than all of them people there, but people would get mad at you for it because, your experience and your skills, you would be able to get a lot of them and they couldn't get any, and they would think you're being a hog or something. I have a title. A lot of guys there say that I'm like the best ball hawk ever. I'd like to say maybe that title should be broken up into two parts. Best in the park and best outside the park. And without a doubt, I believe I still am the best ball hawk in the park.
All right, well, I've been coming out here hawking for probably 15 years now. Started when I was about 12, 13, 14. My parents grew up 2 blocks away. My brother and I used to come all the time, and basically I just figured out that Mo was pretty much, he knew what was going on. So I just kind of picked up all the tricks of the trade. Not quite shadowed him, but at least followed him around a little bit. Picked up, he knew where certain ball players hit the ball in different places, things like that. So you move, shift, adjust accordingly. He was always nice about it, talked about it. There's plenty of times where I got aced out by Mo. He's the man. Saw him today, and I just said, here he is. Here's the legend.
The weather is the biggest factor that a ball hawk is concerned about. We all of us look at the weather and the wind. First, we all look up at the flags to see which way they're blowing and stuff, because you need the wind blowing out of Wrigley Field. You know, the Wrigley Field's got a reputation of being a small park or something, and you know, in actuality, it's down the lines, it's bigger than most major league ballparks, and when the wind blows in, it's probably the hardest place to hit a homer. By the way, a bad day would be a day where you get shut out at the ballpark. And by that I mean they actually had batting practice and you didn't get any. A good day for me would be 3 or more. I've caught 12 twice in my life. That's the most caught by anybody in one day at Wrigley Field. I've done it twice. I'm closing in on 3,000 catches. The total is all that matters to me anymore. Is just keep the total going.
The Yankees had Ruth and Gary. The Cubs had Banks and Williams. On Waveland Avenue, it's Mullins and Berkey. Between them, they've been hawking for 80 years and caught almost 6,000 balls. How do these guys work the same street?
I would say our competition is generally friendly. We kind of encourage each other, especially since now we're the senior citizens out here, and we often compare it to, well, this is one for the old guys or 2 for the old guys. And one of our biggest times happened last year. They hit 6 home runs in the street, and between us we got 5 of them. So the old timers came through.
There's probably about 8 of us that regularly do this. By regular, I mean on a regular basis. These guys have been around for years and years. Naturally, there's been different guys, rookies and stuff that come in. They come and go, or some of them are maybe are going to be regulars because they're still around now. But when I say 8 regulars, these are long-term regulars. But I'm friends with all these people. What does a ball hawk's mitt look like? Old, soft, really well broken in. In fact, I have my own procedure for keeping my glove and hawk in condition. I literally take it to the firehouse, and they got constant running water there. They open up a hydrant, and it's always running. And I take my glove every day of the game, especially on the real hot days, and I run it underneath the hydrant and soak it up, really soak it up. And then I'll start playing catch with it and stuff, and it gives it a real good pocket. It helps keep the ball, especially from popping back out, especially when the leather is still damp. But this thing is really well broken in. I go through about a glove about every 2 to 3 seasons. You know, I have to buy a new one and break it in. And my break-in procedure is the same thing. I'll take it down there, soak it up in water, put a lot of shaving cream on it, wrap it with a couple balls over the winter. I used to even bury them in my garden. It's the truth. In the winter, see, because when you take a glove and you put it away for the winter, it just sits there. It doesn't get any movement. But if you put it in the ground, it has that constant motion. Your ground freezes, it thaws, it freezes, it thaws. You put it in a plastic bag, you're putting shaving cream, the whole winter, buried out in the garden. And I actually get it out in the spring, and the leather's softer, and then you play with it. It helps break in a good pocket. You know, that's the procedure I do. And Rich Berkey had taught me that one. Anyways, I liked it, and I tried it, and it works.
Do you have patience? For the ball hawk, it's a requirement. If you don't have any, don't apply. 9/10 of your day is spent waiting. Waiting for batting practice to begin. Waiting for a power hitter to step up to the plate. If you start reminiscing about your life, you're already lost. You've always got to be tuned in, eyes in the sky. Toughest part is the long hours of standing. Your legs and your feet get tired from pacing. Your eyes get weary from staring into the sky. Minutes go by, nothing. Sometimes it seems like an hour can pass. And then it happens.
Yeah.
Where do I keep all these baseballs? The majority of them I got down here in the basement. I got them in different containers for storage. I'll show you some of them. This big bag, I got this full of them. Well, I got a big garbage can over here full of balls. And a chest here. Probably anywhere between 1,000 and 1,200 baseballs I still have. I have a 12-year-old that I've taken out there on several occasions. He still hasn't gotten into chasing baseballs. You know, he's more into sitting in my van watching TV. I have a feeling he'll get the bite. He'll get bit by it. My wife has been really great. You know, we've been married. We just had our 25th anniversary, and through the years, there's been some rough times. You know, it's because this has been taking a lot of my time, and my vacations are scheduled around the Cubs. My every free moment I have is, and every day off is scheduled around the Cubs. So my wife's just been great about it. She's been very understanding. She knows that I think this is what helps keep me in shape, you know, and I think all wives want their husbands to be in some type of physical good shape, you know, for health reasons, naturally. And it's my last grafts of my youth, you know. Let's face it, this is the only thing that I still do from when I was young. Everything else you have to give up. You have to give up that going out and partying with the friends, you know, going to the bar. All them things are behind me. So I do nothing wrong. You know, this is probably what helps hold a marriage together, is a good, healthy hobby.
I've been coming out here since about 1979, every year, just picking up the things that people leave behind. Obviously, I pick up a lot of unwanted trash, but there is definitely some worthwhile objects that people drop out of their pockets when they're running around out here chasing balls that come over the fence and stuff. So it's kind of a tradition with me. It's an every year event. I look forward to it. It's a great place to be if you're looking for things on the surface as well as down inside. I've gone 7-8 inches down and dug up pennies, nickels, dimes from the 1930s and 40s. So you can make a lot of money just picking change off the surface, but if you really want a treasure hunt, you go down a little bit deeper, you can get coins that people lost back in the 1930s, and that's what's really interesting about it.
What's the most valuable thing that you found?
I found a gold and diamond wedding ring, and I had it appraised at about $300. And that's just to buy it from me. What it costs the people, I have no idea. So feel bad they lost it, but. Sometimes people come out and they yell at me for digging, but usually I won't go on private property without getting the person's permission first. This area right here, whenever I dig, I usually don't go down that far, and whatever I do dig, I bury back up, make sure it looks pretty much the way it did before I got there. But you know, when you have a big year, a couple of years ago, I probably made close to $500 in things that I've dug out of the ground. And it makes it all worthwhile. And there's no way on earth I'm ever going to stop doing this. I mean, it's a great hobby, and it really helps to pay the bills, and I just enjoy it. So.
Well, I'm real excited. This is a big night for us and for me. We're moving the Wrigley Field model into the garage tonight. I've specially made these cases specifically for the models. It comes apart in several pieces. Tomorrow's the big day, moving it down to the Cubs convention. I'm just overwhelmed by this. Very excited because I know the fans are going to be excited when they see this piece. Only 10 people have ever seen it, and out of the 10 people that have seen it, it's been overwhelming, just overwhelming acceptance of this piece of art. I'm really excited about it. I really hope it sells because I am broke. I need the money. So the move down tonight into the garage, and then tomorrow to the Cubs convention. Down the stairs, it's going to be tricky, but we'll get it done. Looks good so far. So far, it looks good. Okay, I'm going to lift up. I'm going to lift up and give you. Okay, come here. Okay. Okay, what I want to still do is more into this way if you can. Okay. Now, we're going to try to go this way. Okay. I don't think it's going to make it down the stairs. Oh. No, it's too big. I don't think we can clear the ceiling. Yeah, we couldn't get it down the stairs. So I think the plan that will work is we're going to just take it through the window, and my neighbor's got a hoist, and we'll get it down. Plan 1 didn't work. Plan 2 will work, and we'll make it happen. Really, it seems like we almost got closer going down the stairs.
There's no way it goes down the stairs.
Well, we're just missing it by a few inches. We should make it through that window. You know that?
That's the only other thing. Yeah, well, we thought it would slide down the stairs still. Looks like it should.
Well, no, it would make it down the stairs. It actually gets bigger the further you go down there. That height increases. Mm-hmm. What I suggest is we get it through here. The problem we were having, I think, is this piece right here hitting the ceiling. If we take that off, we just might clear it. Now, okay, basically we're going to do the same thing as we did before. Okay. There you go. Remember, you grab that wall. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. There you go. Yeah. All right, now. Nope. God damn. Nope. Let's try the other. If we walk it out as far as we can this way. Nope. Wait. Let's walk it out more. Wait. Let's go back now to you. Okay. All right. Forward, buddy.
You might make like this. You might get stuck here and not be able to go either way.
How do you look up there? All right. This is obviously not happening at all. It's not going to come down the stairs, and it's getting late, man. We're going to have to take that frame out of that window, and I don't give a damn how we have to do it. It's got to come out. That's it. I'm not happy about this at all. This is just going on too long. Everything that I planned for it coming downstairs didn't work, and the windows didn't open far enough. They're bolted in. It's just going to have to come out. I don't care how it gets done. It's got to get done. If I have to rip half the building off, I'll get this piece out. That's all there is to it.
You're going to gain exactly.
I'm going to look like the biggest idiot in the world. The Cubs helped me get down there, and now I can't get down there. Oh yeah, am I going to get drunk for you?
You win some, you lose some.
All right. Let me just hook this up. One second.
Dave, what do you want from me now?
We just need one last.
Look, I've had it, man. I'm spent
One last
tonight. I don't want to do this.
I know.
I don't want to do it, okay?
Right.
I've had it tonight.
All right, one more.
Okay, what do you want?
I just want to know. Describe.
Okay, basically what happened, we tried to take it we shattered the glass up there. There's glass all over the place in a million pieces. I'm having the movers come out tomorrow morning with a scissor lift, and they're dealing with it. I've had it tonight, gentlemen. Good night.
The bleachers are an equalizer. You've got people, you got street people in there, you got lawyers, attorneys, corporate executives, bums, people laid off, housewives. You got a wide variety of people. What bonds the people is the ball game, the game. The baseball game makes you equal. You're all the same. It doesn't matter who the heck you are. And we're all watching the game, we're all rooting and hoping for the Cubs and all. And it's a great equalizer. I wish this could be used in other issues in the world to bring people together, but sports does that. It brings you together.
Bleachers are like a family. You always know when someone's getting married, when someone's going to have a baby, when someone has met a girl or a guy and they're getting interested in each other.
There's a camaraderie out there, a family. I know people, I know their grandkids, their fathers, their uncles that they've brought in from all over the country, you know, over the 40, 50-year period. And we've just developed a family, and it's unique. I've gone to other ballparks, and it's not the same.
They're closer than my family, actually. I think there are probably a couple of hundred regulars, people who've been there for years.
They were doing the wave earlier. I thought I was in Comiskey Park.
One of my favorite, of course, is Carmela Hartigan. Carmela, she's an optimist, the typical Cub fan. I mean, you know, there's always tomorrow. And this year, she's 97 years old. She climbs up those stairs, takes 2 buses to go to the game, 2 buses to get home.
She doesn't hang around with old people talking about who just died, who's going to die, and who's sick. She comes out there and she lives her life.
Really, I do enjoy being there and with the crowd. The sun is hotter, the beer is colder, and the people are the nicest.
Hey, we could have lost 100 games if you guys would have yelled more.
Went down months ago.
Wait till next year, all you turkeys. You'll be back.
Norb's a great friend of mine. Norb and I are like two conservatives in the den of socialism that is the Bleacher Regulars. Norb and I can talk politics and history and be on the same note, and we're about the only two people out there who can do that.
Norb, he's pretty much a character too. He's very happy with me because I go to church every Sunday. And Marv is probably your basic Cub fan from way back. He's 75 and he's been through a lot with these Cubs, and he isn't afraid to shout it out. And he sits on the edge of a seat out there, and when you're watching a game, you can always look and go, oh, there's Marv, I see him, there he is. And it makes you feel a little secure. If you're not there, you can't be there. It makes you feel a little secure. Okay, the game can go on, Marv's out there.
Some people, they just like their spot, and that's wonderful. I look at it as the neighborhood coffee shop, the neighborhood saloon, and I just kind of come in when I want to, and I hang out against the fence where you're allowed to have a cigar, and then I just kind of roam around and say hi to people. I'm watching the game at all times. That's the way I like to do it. Other people want to have their spots. That's wonderful. I mean, that's good. You want to, hey, this is my spot. That's good.
The reason it's familiarity. We're all creatures, okay? Just like animals and everything else, we bond. And there's a tendency to go where you're comfortable.
I didn't start out in left field. I started out in center field. Then I moved to right field. Well, actually, right field, one of the reasons I was in right field was Andre Dawson. A nice view. I like looking at the game from behind sometimes.
I had a woman come here about a month ago, and she says, I haven't been here in 10 years, and you were sitting in the same seat, you know, so. And a lot of guys, you know, like guys from Atlanta used to come by, and every year, I don't know if they come by to see if you're alive or, you know, but just come by and say hello, which makes you feel good. It's nice. Nice to sit with a couple elderly people there. I don't know if you remember, there was Elsie and Al, and they're both deceased, so I succeeded over there. They call that the death seat, so.
Well, there used to be a good reason to sit in the bleachers. The bleachers where the everyday person would sit. Unfortunately, now the complexion of the bleachers have changed quite a bit. The guy out there with the cellular telephone, Rolex watches, talking about Dow Jones averages instead of earned run averages. And unfortunately, the blue-collar guy is no longer out the ballpark because it used to be what they said, it was a cheap seat.
You got the yuppie crowd, they pay $50 for a ticket, and they stand on the ramp on their cell phone, you know, and don't even watch the game, calling Buffy and Conrad up in Kenilworth. And they're not baseball people. They're there socially, to be seen.
I think they only change because you get older, or your values change, or your ideals change, or the way you look at a ball game changes. I'm sure it's the same crowd, same type of crowd.
I just go out there more to, you know, meet the people and have fun and give you something to bitch about. You know, I say you got to have a touch of masochism to get out there and maybe it's a freak show. I don't know.
Yes, feel the power. Oh, feel the power, man. Now is the winter of our discontents made glorious by this son of York. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here. Madam, not from my seats. Thank you so much. Onward, upward, dance, the night is young, children. Fame, I hate it, I love it. Get out of my way. Oh, wow, to be single again, Ooh, mommy, mama, got to get a cab, must find a cab, where's my kingdom for a cab? I've also got to puke, but I'll not do it,
If you've lived in Chicago long enough, you've forgotten the names of birds. Whose call is this? And calling whom? How would you answer it? All day long it is trilled. Why won't it fly south? In the old days, every ballpark had its yeller. Ebbets Field had Hildy Chester. Comiskey Park had Andy the Clown. As ear-splitting as they were, they yelled the way we all yell, on the exhale. But the best and the brightest lungs of Wrigley Field let her rip while breathing in.
1957, I was on left field, and I saw Billy come to the ballpark, and somebody gave me a hot dog, and I saw Billy. I said, "Oh, there's Billy." I said, "Billy, Billy, Billy," and Billy Williams was out in the left field. I said, "Billy, Billy, Billy," and I was eating a hot dog, and I guess calling myself Billy, Billy, and these girls started laughing at me. So I said, "Billy, Billy, Billy, Billy." Then Sano came to the plate. I go, "Sano, Sano, William, World, Series, World."
In his real life, Ronnie endlessly rides the same train on the same track, swapping one menial job for the next. But in the neighborhood of Addison and Clark, fans pay the maestro back. There's always an extra game ticket for Ronnie. Beers on the house at the local taps. A reserved chair on any one of the rooftops, or a last grilled cheeseburger being held especially for Ronnie's arrival at a neighborhood barbecue. He's the resident hobo with the abracadabra, the master of one small thing. Because his call can't be improved upon, Ronnie isn't supposed to change. In a place devoted to the enduring, the coolest constants are the human ones. Baseball is about cliches becoming true all over again. So sometimes you do go to the game to get away from your troubles. You sit alone in the grandstand, aloof, unfriendly, like a tub out on the high seas, lost by ill winds, out of sight of land. Then, out of the bleachers, 50 yards away, it flies out. Ronnie's call, like that of a seagull hidden from view, a sign that things will be as they were, that a harbor is near. Then by the next game, when you're feeling better, you look around perturbed and you say,
Doesn't anybody ever shut that guy up?
Here in Wrigleyville, you find bars with names like Yaxies, High Tops, and Sluggers. These are the offspring of the big boom in both the bull market and the cub market. They bought in when the getting was good. Other bars, however, have been around longer. Murphy's Bleachers used to be Ray's Bleachers. Back then, it was a one-room dive where patrons had nothing to look at but a mirror and each other, which is, of course, the origin of good conversation. Today, this place channels entertainment into and through the adjoining buildings, more a compound than a tavern. Further out are joints like the Ginger Man and the Piano Man, closer to the cemeteries than the ballpark. And like the graveyards, nobody wanders into them by accident. Then there are the veteran neighborhood taps like Bernie's Lounge and Jimmy and Ties, the true blue prospectors, where guys argue stats like scientists, where the stories are many and the girlfriends are few, where 50-year-olds can act like they're 21, or, well, 31 if it's a losing season.
We moved to this area in about 1960, and throughout the 60s, I lived in the Wrigleyville neighborhood. It wasn't called Wrigleyville at that time. It was Lakeview, or it really didn't actually have a name till like '84, and developers kind of called it Wrigleyville. My stepfather and I were looking for a bar, and I saw an ad in the paper for this location. I thought, well, that's near Wrigley Field. Let's go check it out. I thought, well, this would be great, a bar in the old neighborhood, you know. And when I opened in '84, I gave it the name the Wrigleyville Tap. It just seemed to fit.
Why do you drink at Bernie's?
Why? That's the only place that'll serve me. That's not true. I can drink anywhere. I think I'm well liked everybody. Until I reach that certain point, then I could become a patronist. Well, I've been known to bob my head on occasion. I start bobbing the head, and if you don't know me, I guess it's scary, you know. I'm sure young kids have seen me, you know, in my fifth stage, if you want to call that, and they go, what the hell is this guy's problem? What's he, on dope or something? No, not on dope, I just drink. So?
I think one thing that my bar is different from the other bars around here is that I have a lot of regulars that come in here. I'll see the same faces after games. I get a lot of the ballpark vendors, a lot of the ballpark crowd control, and a lot of neighborhood people that just hang out here and they're good baseball fans. And this is the place where they like to hang out. So it's not unusual for me to see and know everybody's name after a Cub game. Now, I don't know for sure, but I don't think the other bigger bars around the neighborhood can say the same. And so in that sense, I've been real fortunate. People from out of town, they'll come. I might not see their faces for years, but I'll remember them, and they'll remember this place, and they make a point to come here, you know, from, you know. And same thing with bands that play at the Cabaret Metro next door. It's really evolved into a very friendly neighborhood bar that's rock and roll friendly and Cub friendly, and I love the mix, and I love what I do here.
The reason I go to Bernie's is because I feel comfortable in there. I walk in there, I don't feel like I have to be anyone but myself. Bernie's, I know everyone there. Everyone knows me.
This is my buddy Terry. He likes the oldies like I do, and that's all that matters.
When I walk in there, I actually feel, you know, like special or important. So it makes me feel good. That's one of the reasons I go in there. If there's regular people that I know in there, like the vendors and the regulars I drink with in the winter, to me it doesn't look like it's changed. I always seem to find someone that I know in there. Very seldom that I'll go in there and not know anyone. But it has changed. It's more like a yuppie bar now in the evening.
You think you'll still be going in there 20 years from now?
If I'm alive, yeah. Why not? By then I'll really be a legend in that joint. Half the people I know will be dead already, but, you know, we'll see what happens.
What if the Cubs were to move?
If they were to move, I would still stay in the neighborhood. It's a real strip right now, anyway, as it is right now. I couldn't say that years ago. You know, if the ballpark had folded up, I would have probably have gone too. But now that it's a real strip, no, this is a hot property around here now. You know, and it's very exciting. So no, I'm going to be here for a while, as long as they'll have me.
love to bring people to Wrigley Field. It's one of the favorite spots, because I'm a diehard Cub fan, you know. If you're growing up in Chicago, especially on the north side of Chicago, soccer must be written across our heads. But when people come into Chicago, as part of my tour, I always take them here because they think those buildings across the street from Wrigley Field are 10, 16 stories tall. And when I show them it's a 3-story walk-up, they love it. They love it. They think about Chicago as Capone. They think about Chicago as Michael Jordan. But they never really realize that the best-kept secret is Wrigley Field. This is the home of the Blues Brothers. Jake Blues always gave this address. What is it, 1060, 1080 West Addison Street? See the Blues Brothers, 1980. You'll love it. Anything else I can tell you about the city before I take off on my tour?
I think you've done your job.
I've done my job. Give me a call. I love you. Herb Shaman, actor extraordinary. And peace.
Lots of people like to call Wrigley Field a shrine, a historic landmark, national monument. But it's different from all of those. It started out pretty ordinary. Brooklyn Bridge was inspiring. Gettysburg Battlefield, spine-tingling. Even Yankee Stadium was majestic. But Wrigley Field, squeezed between tenements and cemeteries, was just a glorified backyard. Like the Grand Canyon, it got beautiful slowly. The sky, grass, ivy, and rooftops haven't changed any. It's the 80 years of ordinary folks living out part of their lives here that gave Wrigley Field its happiness. Folks with cameras are wildcatters here, tapping around the park for the photograph that will go into the scrapbook beside the one of the old house they grew up in and moved away from. It doesn't matter that the negatives have been taken many times already, with other friends posing in front of the scoreboard. No smile comes stiffly in these shots. After all the decades of day baseball here, there's a lot of sun stored up, so you never have to wait for the good light.
I've never seen a model look like that, on that scale anyway. It's got the flags and everything. I mean, the working lights, love it. Go Cubs.
Hey, I think it's fantastic. It looks like the real thing. Fantastic. We're going to go back to the car and get our camera. Pure and simple, love it.
Probably the nicest thing I've ever seen as far as, sports things go. It doesn't have an autograph on it, but it looks great. If I had a big enough house, I'd put it in there.
I think it's just about the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's so lifelike. It is, I mean, you get the awe from just like looking at it like you were at the ballpark.
This is not the real Wrigley Field. The real Wrigley Field didn't have any lights. This is a fake.
Oh, I think it's awesome. I think it's nice. Yeah, it's like too big though. What do you mean too big? Well, like where would you put it? I mean, it'd be cool to have in your house or something. I don't know. It would take up a whole room.
Did you make that yourself? I made a ship model. How much do you want?
$15,000 and $5,000 goes to Cubs care.
Huh?
$15,000 and $5,000 goes to Cubs care.
Okay.
You didn't bring the padding for enough time.
There's little things that aren't there.
I know, but when you... Other than that,
some people come here and ask me how much the model is, and I tell them, and they say, well, gee, it should be a lot more than that, Steve. It's a wonderful piece. And other people will tell me, you're out of your mind. It's $15,000. Some people, most of the people are saying, if I had the money, I'd buy it. So that's really good, but I haven't seen a check yet.
What's a torco?
What's a what?
What's a torco?
Circle? Oh, torso, you mean up there. I don't know what it is. It must be some kind of corporation. I don't know. I've seen it up there for years, but I don't really know. And if my wife hears this, she'll know that I don't know. She says, I don't know nothing.
Our great-grandpas, when they were kids, watched the game through knotholes in the left field fence. But who, in heaven's name, would want to see it from the roof? What? Bake in the sun and sink inning by inning into that melting tar? Roofs were meant for couples to drift up onto at night. By day, a place for soot to land. Today, every rooftop is a balcony deluxe. You got solid hardwood at your feet, a whole sky above, and the game spread out before you like an army passing your reviewing stand. You've always got your choice of parades. The parade down on the street, the parade across the street in the bleachers, girls and women. Sometimes they wave. See? Go ahead, wave back at them like the Pope on Christmas Eve. Planes going over, sailboats in Lake Michigan, just a speck out there, but they got binoculars on board, taking you in as they slide between those high-rises. Even the home runs are trying to get to you, reaching over the wall, over the street, reaching out. You got a beer and a Polish and a cigar ready for it when it comes. Isn't it a beautiful thing, being on the outside looking in?
I don't really feel like one of those crazy Cub fans, because it's not like that for me. It's more like a place that I just grew up at, and I don't really think like live or die according to whether the Cubs win, because they don't usually win anyway. So it's more like, hey, you know, I go to this place, and the Cubs are the team that plays there. I don't really care that much about baseball, I guess. I mean, I played when I was little, and I didn't, but I don't really feel like a huge fan in general. I've been working the third shift as a janitor in the building downtown for 3 years, and so I'm back up to Addison usually by about 7:30 in the morning when everybody else is going to work. We moved into the neighborhood sometime in the 60s, and basically grew up right here across from Wrigley. My mom, my dad, and I don't know. This is really my home. I lived in other places around. I lived closer to my work for a few years until my dad died, and then I moved back because my mom didn't want to be alone, and I was always fixing stuff up, helping out. My granddad used to work over here at Wrigley and also over at Comiskey in the 40s. And he used to work as an usher, and then he got my dad a job as an usher over here at the Cubs. He used to get me into the games for free all the time. And when my dad left to get a better job, I was still able to get into all those games because of the friends he made over there. And even now, when I go over there, there's lots of people who knew me when I was a kid, and they look at me like they recognize me, but they don't really know where from or anything. You know, they used to call me Sonny Boy and stuff like that. And now I don't even, they just kind of like raise an eyebrow. I go to, I don't know, most of the games in the summertime because I can't sleep at home during the day when the Cubs are playing. You know, I try to take a nap after work when I get home sometimes, but it don't really work out too good because, you know, the buses start pulling in about 11:25 and blowing smoke everywhere and making all kinds of racket. Yeah, well, I guess that's supposed to be kind of exciting. I don't think it is, but... And then I end up doing the same thing every day in the afternoon. Before the games, I like to get something to eat sometimes, you know, because I can't sleep, and I go over there to Yum Yums sometime around, I don't know, 12, 15. And there's this girl, Carol, who works behind the counter. She's kind of nice. She kind of has a good personality, you know, and she don't look that bad. And I kind of maybe have a crush on her. I don't think she cares too much about me, but I would like to sit in the bleachers over there next to all those drunk people and sit over there and get my own little spot and hang out in the bleachers and catch the wind blowing off the lake, stretch out. I guess I'm lucky that I live here. You know, lots of people, my friends when I was growing up thought I was lucky because I live across the street from the Cubs and I go to all the games and I get in free. But, you know, they don't, you know, it's like anything. You know, you get used to it and it's more like routine. I thought I would go somewhere far away, try something else. Every time I start talking like that, I know my mom don't like it too much. But I think she wants me to be happy. So on the one hand, she kind of wants me to go experiment, you know, go out with some nice girls, or maybe, you know, get married even. But then, on the other hand, she don't want to be alone, I don't think.
Well, how would you feel if the Cubs moved out of the neighborhood? If they tore Wrigley down?
I don't know. I don't really think I would want them to move out of the neighborhood. I don't know what I would do. I'm so used to going there. And it's like a part of who I am, for better or worse.
Love it.
In 1998, two men chased a long-standing record, sending baseballs out of the park and onto the street at an astonishing pace. You know the story on the field. Here's the story on the street.
Come on out, Jack!
I was over in left center where I got my other two Sosa homers this year, and I saw it go out, and I knew it was going to be across the street on the fly. So I came over here and I saw the scramble in the bush over there, and I saw a friend of mine. I saw him run out between the cars with the ball, and I just bear hugged him, and I threw him in the van head first, and we shut the door because there was a mob of people out here trying to get the ball.
Masses of people proceeded to charge into the vehicle or at the vehicle to get a glimpse at the guy that got the big home run. And we were protected by all the ball hawks out here, the regulars. They came around, they all gathered around the car. And then the reporters came, and we put up kind of roadblocks and watched him and the ball and the vehicle. And that's what happened out here. Another crazy day at Wrigley Field.
I would say it was very presidential the way you got him in the van like that.
I've known Mo for 12 years. I played the street like I always do, in the middle of the street. Mo was in his usual spot in left center. The ball came out, and I had a feeling that Mo might have a chance at it.
Right, it shot over this way, went into a pile of people here. Everybody just knocked into each other and stuff. You know, I got here and the ball at the same time. If the guy didn't trip me up, I'd have been gone already. You see, so I got it on a clean breakaway except for 1 foot. And the guy just reached out and tripped me up, and then the pile just came over. And before they even got on top of me, they just surrounded on the ground around and started ripping at my hands. You know, I mean, I couldn't believe it. The ball was totally in my hands by myself. And I had hundreds of people that just ripped at me. I was laying down, and then they just all spread all around from every angle. They were just pulling and jerking everybody. And then the pile got higher and higher. I couldn't even breathe anymore. It was brutal. Like I say, while I was in that pile, I was thinking, Mo, just let go of the ball because you're dying here. And then when the weight got off and I could breathe again, then I just saw a guy running down the street. So I don't know how he got it or what. You know, all I know is I had it for a few seconds, and then they mobbed me and took it from me. Minutes,
Bites or cuts?
Those are cuts from the concrete where they were dragging me.
You getting it back, Mo? I give you 5 minutes. Are you
know,
gonna get back?
It's going to court. It's got to go to court because I got witnesses up on the roof. I got about 30 other people that gave me their cards.
I noticed as the ball started to accelerate towards left center field, I was playing the corner of Waveland and Kenmore, not very enthusiastically, not knowing he was going to hit the ball, but I noticed it going towards left center field, and it started to go over the fence. It bounced in the grass, rolled towards the corner of the alley, where I watched Mo pick it up with his hand.
He literally picked it up off the ground, and about 2 seconds after that, the crowds just mobbed us and jumped on top of us. And
so I dropped everything and took off running after the ball. And I just seen an empty space, dived in there. My hand was up under there, and Mo, up under Mo's body. And the ball knocked out of his hand, it ran in mine. And somebody grabbed me by the throat.
He had the ball pinned under his chest. He couldn't move. He was trying to slide the ball over to me because he couldn't hold on anymore. And I could barely move. I got my fingertips on it.
He had the ball at least just 5 minutes.
He had the ball for a good, I don't know, 5 seconds or so.
He hitting him in the face, in the ribs, kicking him. He looked like he was passing out.
I didn't see anybody bite him or do anything physical because I was just worried about my life getting out of that crowd.
I got to Mo. Mo's standing there with his hand bleeding. He said, Eddie, they bit me. They beat me. I couldn't breathe. They took the ball from me.
Well, we were all chasing after this guy, right? And he came up Sheffield here and ran down towards Grace, and this guy was taking pictures of the whole thing. The next thing I saw, the cops had him in the back seat of their car.
They didn't know what was going on. They threw him in the back seat of the cop car, and he was gone.
Mo's the nicest guy out here, and damn it, if he said he had that ball, he had it. Because if he didn't, he'd pat the guy on the shoulder and say goodbye.
And now I know ball hawking is a dangerous job. You can really get hurt.
Upper reserve starting at 30.
Where are they at?
Which ones?
Reserve.
Bleachers. Reserves would be like right by first base, between first and home.
In a grandstand, or are they down in the box?
A typical homestand, a good homestand. Middle of the summer, how much money can you make?
Well, first of all, I just want you to respect the fact that money is money, right? I don't know who's going to watch this thing. So I'd rather keep the cash thing. You know, let's just not talk about the cash. Okay, I tell you this, you can do good, all right? I mean, I make a living. I'm buying my condo. You know, I eat nice. I pay my cable bill. Is that good? Is that enough said?
Yeah.
I'd prefer it if we didn't talk about cash, like, in particular. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Respect that? Okay, thanks. You know, like if I'm trying to sell a ticket, there's no mystery to it. It's not scientific, but it's more like a sixth sense, you know. You could tell somebody's, you know, kind of standing around outside, and they may even they got that furtive look. You know, they're just looking for something. So I just go up and ask them, you know, you looking for a ticket, you know? And, you know, 95% of the time now I'm right on, you know. And by the way they're dressed too, you know, the shoes that they're wearing, I look at the shoes a lot. You can tell a person a lot by, you know, what kind of money they're willing to spend if, you know, by the shoes that they're wearing. Highline Nikes, you know, hiking boots, nice hiking boots, you know, things that are comfortable. You can tell by their Banana Republic shorts. Because I go for those people because I know that they're willing to spend a little bit more money, you know, on a more highline seat. It'll be easier for me to sell it to them too, you know, and if I do my, you know, legitimate, trustworthy service routine, they're gonna buy from me. You know, as far as the competition out here, now, you know, you got your legit guys who are doing a service, right? They're selling good tickets. I don't know how the other guys do it so much, but I try to take the time to explain to people, this is where the ticket is, this is what section it's in, is it upper deck, is it lower deck, is it field box, is it bleacher? Because I'm providing what I consider a legitimate service. Now the other guys that are on the street, they're gonna try to run some smoke up the customer's butt. That's another thing that I don't do. I don't tell you that a ticket is somewhere where it's not, you know? If it's way up the right field line, that's where I'll tell you where the seat is. But all the other tickets that are out here all seem to be, you know, right next to, you know, right behind home plate, right next to Ryan Sandberg's wife or something like that, you know?
How many scalpers, how many guys are actually out there on the street selling at Wrigley on any given day?
Probably 15, 20 regular, legit guys. There may be a few more, you know, I mean, I don't know everybody, you know. I'm friendly with a couple of them. You know, for the most part, I just keep to myself. You know, I don't make a spectacle of myself. A lot of guys might as well be wearing a neon sign around their neck. Hey, I'm here, you know. All that does is, you know, create attention. You know, when the big sweep comes through, and that happens every once in a while, you know, the company says, you know, we got a self-stain room today, you know, so get rid of whatever, you know, the directive comes out from, I don't know where, you know, some secret phone, the red phone goes off. Part of the fun is playing the cat and mouse game, you know, a little bit. You know, for the most part, man, I'm a pretty good mouse. I know where to hide, because I just don't make a big sneeze out of myself. Won't matter anyway, I'm getting out of business. I'm tired of it. I'm going to Phoenix, going back to the desert. It's nice down there, I love it.
So this is your last year then?
I think I'm finished, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm done. After these guys see this, you know, my compatriots out there, they're gonna hate me. So I won't have a friend on the corner. This is one little trick that probably nobody will tell you about. You go out to the outer perimeter of Wrigleyville, like Addison and Ashland, let's say, or, you know, Irving and Ashland or something, and you hold up your little sign, I need tickets. Well, what you're doing is you're buying tickets hopefully at cost or below cost from people who have extras and don't know what to do with them, right? It's common sense, right? But maybe people don't know that. And then you drive in, you know, that's why it's good to have a bicycle. You ride in on the bike, you get into the inner perimeter, and then you sell them for what you can get for them. I mean, it's, you know, but I'm not out to, I mean, the tickets are all good that I sell. There's no white out on them, you know, they're not 3 years old.
What are the advantages of selling in the Wrigley Field neighborhood as opposed to like Comiskey or Bulls, or as far as?
Oh, well, of course, Wrigley Field, man, it's, you got all these little nooks and crannies around Wrigley Field. You got little alleyways, you got the L platform, you know, you got the corners, you can stand behind vendor tents, you know, or you can go down the side streets. I mean, it's perfect. The camouflage is built in. Whereas at Comiskey, you know, the geniuses over there, you know, they built a new park, which, utter disgrace to baseball, that park. But the main problem, you can't scalp over there. There's no neighborhood over there anymore, man. You know, they tore down all the bars on 35th Street.
Do you sell in the bars and the?
Oh, no. No, bars and restaurants and all that stuff is off limits. First of all, most people would as soon as kick your ass to have you selling tickets in their bar, but it's disrespectful. I mean, you know, but I don't go in and solicit, you know. I mean, that would be like me going over to your house and, you know, taking a crap on your living room rug, you know. I mean, it's that disrespectful, the way I see it anyway. You know what I'm saying? There's no point in doing that. Keep it out in the street. Find some highline ones, but all we got down here is like section 111, 105, you know, down on the third base side there. They're nice. No, I'm gonna hold out and see if I can get something more closer to the company seats. I have the gold, you know, and I take pride in that. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll try that. It's a little early yet. I'll find something. Oh, here we go. There's an nice. You know, I take pride in having, first of all, good tickets. Like I said before, I like those field box tickets, man, because if you're a true baseball fan, that's where you should be sitting, or out in the bleachers, you know. Only problem with the bleachers, and that's why I don't go out there no more. I mean, I have my days. I even vended out there years ago, but, you know, what's the bleachers? It's a bunch of lobsters baking in the sun waiting to throw up. I mean, am I wrong? You know, I mean, it's a bunch of kids acting, you know, nutty, you know. You suck, no, you suck, I suck, we all suck, suck. I mean, that's, you know, that's the bleach. It's fun, you know, but it's not for me anymore, you know. All right, here's a secret. You know the buses that pull in over in the Waveland? Right before the game? Where them buses come from? Downstate, like Cairo or Little Egypt by the river or whatever, Pleasantville, Iowa, some little town. And they're usually loaded up with these sweet little senior citizens that have come in from some group home or, you know, some retirement place or something like that. And, you know, I mean, put two and two together, right? Senior citizens are old, they're frail, they're sick, they're dying, whatever. Now, the bus may have showed up, right? God forbid, during the night. A couple of their members of the retirement home may have expired, you know, or they just got sick, or for whatever reason they ain't showing up, right? Go to the bus, say, hey, how you doing? Be nice, you know. Help Janice off the bus, help Louise, you know. Help old Jack, who's been a Cub fan all his life, you know. Make small talk, tell him what a nice day it is to see a ball game. Everybody's happy. They've had their hot dogs, they've had their potato chips, they've drank their Pepsi, because they're only allotted that once a month anyway, you know. Now they're happy, right? Talk to the bus driver and ask him, you know. Everybody make it onto the bus? Everybody here for the trip? 9 times out of 10, there's always a few people that couldn't get there. You do that a few times around the buses, I can end up with like 25, 30 tickets, right? Now, you know, I'll throw the driver a bone, you know, because what's going to happen? The tickets are just going to get wasted. The company's going to tell them, well, you got to eat them tickets. And like I said before, tickets ain't breakfast. You don't eat tickets, you know, you sell them. So I provide a service. I get 25 extra people who wanted to be into the park, right? And then, you know, I don't know if it's guilt or whatever, but I go over, I may make a donation to the, you know, the Crippled Kids Society, or, you know, what is it, the Easter Seals box over there at Yum Yum Donuts, you know. Senior citizens, sick kids, same thing, you know. Spread the wealth around, you know.
Hey Dave, Steve Wolf here. Things have taken probably a turn for the worse financially. The mortgage can't be paid this month, and 2 part-time jobs, and I just never made it, man. So it appears to be a real mayday. I'm seeing the horizon coming up on this plane real fast, and I can't. I have the throttles up full, and I'm diving right into it. I can't stop it, so I don't know what's going to happen. Not a good day, not a good life. What a waste. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. Wrigley Field Mile, just donate it. I don't want it. I mean, I can't sell it. No one will want it. The story is, I built it, and no one came. Over and out. It's not a suicide call, but I just really wish I would just drop dead, because I'm not going to do anything, but I don't like being around here. Have a nice day, man.
This is my time of year. Can't beat it. Everyone's gone back to their lives. I can finally spread out. Peanuts here, scorecard there. Watch the game in peace. I can cross my legs. Either way. Everything's accepted now. It's official. My Cubs are going nowhere. And I'm not going to be an astronaut. So, if I want to sit in the sun, fine. Too warm, I can move back into the shadows. The ushers don't care. They've accepted things too. In September, you start hearing with your real ears again. The ball whizzes, the outfielder grunts, the late call-up tells a joke, and the bullpen laughs. I don't care if it's at my expense. Everybody's finally relaxed. On Wednesdays, the kids come out on their field trips. They squeal at the pop-ups. They chase each other through the rows when the bases are loaded. Well, that's okay by me. Whenever I come here in May, June, things are tense, wound up. All the old hopes come back. Too much depends on the outcome of things. Look at those beams, girders, windows, bolted together, painted over so you don't see the job they're doing. The overhangs, the things jutting out, the old iron. We used to make it here. Some of the seats are still wood. The roof of the upper deck is wood. What other ballpark could burn down if it wanted to? The last week of September, I see fans, players, workers say goodbye. I mean, they don't say goodbye, but it's understood. Like when you go to a church in a different town and after the service you say, peace, and shake the hands of the folks on either side of you. I take off my gloves, put the seat up, grab the back of it, and shake the hand of Wrigley Field. But we're not there yet. And for now, I just sit back and try not to miss a thing.
High ground in the dead season. Fireplaces are busy setting moods in draftless houses. Construction only pauses on the worst days, converting fired brick churches into lofts. In the mornings, unattached professionals who have graduated from diaries to ledgers sip coffee in the Starbucks across the street from first base. On coldest evenings, diehards will wander by the 1915 fire station, drawing warmth from the word fire graven in the upper stone. Northerners go about doing the things they say render them more intelligent, delaying gratification, stiffening the back and upper lip, mastering collective nuance to stave off the chill. In the middle of this is one square block of silence. It reroutes cell calls to its perimeter. It softens the paramedic sirens passing. At night, the hawk wind roars in over the scoreboard, whipping across the outfield where the snow is unprintable. The wolf would love to hunt the coyote across this slate, who would love to hunt the fox. But no one's foot can set here now. 2 blocks up Kenmore Street, the cemeteries begin. Wonder, Graceland. In winter, they are visited by the suicidal, the serene. During this season, it is the northern dead who covet that gorgeous silence in the ball field just south. If you walk by, keep your ears peeled, for you may hear the faint smack of cowhide on ash, pennants flapping, a voice from the past snapping out, "Let's get some runs." But listen even closer and close your eyes. You'll see that change will come soon as a complete surprise. You know, when you think about it, change really shouldn't be a surprise. It's a constant. As constant as, well, Wrigley Field.
I think it's great. I'm really happy that, I'm finally, this thing is coming to a very happy ending. And I'm glad that people will be able to see it now, and from building it to moving it back and forth, showing it a couple times at shows, and it's a lot of excitement, but it's like giving birth to a 500-pound rhinoceros.
They say that maybe this year maybe could be this
out. That's what it's all about. Under a summer sky, there ain't no reason to worry till the seventh inning. Rise and shout, call that sucker out, back to his hidey hole. Have a cold one now, bless my soul.
They say that maybe this year,
Maybe our number is up. But if it isn't, who cares if it isn't?
could be. This year should be.
Just wait, you'll see it's a new ball game.
They say that maybe this year,
Maybe our ship will come in. But if it doesn't, so what if it doesn't?
could be. This year should be.
Just wait, you'll see it's a new ball game. Another new ball game. It's a new ball game. I smile when I hear you say you're gonna send out your resume. 'Cause you always come back.
You always come back.
Yes, you always come back.
You always come back.
Yes, you always come back. And you always blow me away. It's unusual and cruel, the way that I play your fool. 'Cause you always come back.
You always come back.
Yes, you always come back.
You always come back.
Yes, you always come back. That's little game's only rule.
You always come back.
You always come back.
You always come back.
You're gonna give me a heart attack. There's one thing I know that's true. The one thing I'll never do. 'Cause you always come back.
You always come back.
Yes, you always come back.
You always come back.
Since you always come back, I won't never get rid of you. come back.
You always come back.
You're gonna give me a heart attack. There's one thing I know that's true. The one thing I'll never do. 'Cause you always come back.
You always come back.
You just keep coming back.
You always come back.
Since you always come back, I won't never get rid of you.